What's good? It's back again, Wilfred, with another video. Today we're working on a 2008 Arctic Cat 500. This is my buddy's father's bike. It's a pretty big bike. He's got some big wheels on him. You can see him over there. It has a few issues with it that we're gonna address today. So I think we got some bushings. We got some starter solenoid and brakes. We gotta bleed the brakes and do the brake pads. Let me show you what the old parts look like and we'll kind of go from there. All right, so I already took the wheels off. I put some PV blaster on some of these older bolts, but we're gonna be changing the brake pads out of there. They still got some meat on them, but he's gonna keep this quad for a long time, so might as well hook them up. And I don't think they've ever changed these pads. They've had this bike for a long time. So these bushings are gone. I don't know if you could tell in the camera, but they wiggle and they make the wheel sit kind of toed out. So I'm gonna place this one and the bottom one pads, and then we're gonna bleed the line. We need a bleeder nipple here. I'm still waiting on those to come in, so I'm gonna wait to do those for a later date. But today we're gonna change these on both the back and both sides and the rear, and the brakes on each 3 corner. I say 3 corners because there's only brakes on, if you're looking at the bike, it's only brakes on the right side. This side is just a hub. There's no brakes on it. So nothing to really worry about there. I took that wheel off because we got some spacers coming too. So, and I need to do these. So I'm gonna get all set up and we'll get after it. So I hit this up with some PV blaster to loosen up some of this stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I loosened some of this up for you, so you don't gotta watch me struggle with it. But the brake caliper is a 10 millimeter. And then for these bushings, it's a 15 on the outside and a 13 on the inside. There's just 2 bolts for the caliper. They come right out. Looks like these have some Loctite, so we'll put some Loctite back on them. Remember not to hit your brakes once you take your calipers off. If not, that piston is going to close. It's going to be a pain in the butt to open it back up. There's that. We can take these pads off. They don't look too bad, but they look old. We're just gonna put that to the side for now. have to take the axle off. I mean, everything's right here. And we get to both of them. We rotate them and get to both of them. I'm not gonna take the axle off. I mean, I could, but I don't think I need to. Pop these off. So I'm gonna go ahead, take these off, put the new ones in. Which I got the all balls racing bearing kit. It comes with the bushings and the I guess the studs, and it comes even with some, nope, that's just some dry stuff. But if you want to lubricate this really pretty good, does not lubricant, get your own. So I'm gonna take those out, put these in. All right, so I already did the top side. I just got this flipped around. This is the bottom side, that's the top side. This is the old stuff, right? That's one of the old bushings. There's one of the old cross members. So, and then here is a new one. Much sturdier, much nicer. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of lube on this, some all-purpose grease, so everything's pretty decently lubricated. And slam it in. Slides right in. I did clean the inside of the shaft. I just took a rag, cleaned it up as best as I could, just so there's no old debris in there. Shaft. Clearly see the difference between this one and the old one. And it just slides right on in. Just want to level it. Just gonna spin it. That one goes into its home. Force it into place. These are new now, so be patient with it. I'll try to be. Lord knows I'm not a patient man. And that one's on. Drop the bolt in. tight. There we go. Yeah, that's nice and sturdy now. That wheel's gonna sit much better in there. Much more happy with that. So now we're gonna clean this thing up a little bit and put some new pads in there. So let me clean this up a little bit first and then we'll go from there. Alright, so now we're gonna do the brakes. So essentially you want to get that piston pushed back in there. I'm trying not to bend that hose too much, but that piston you want to push it back in there. So what you do is you take a clamp like this. You can buy one anywhere, any auto parts store, and you're gonna clamp it here and like this backside right there. We're just gonna close it on itself. So I'm gonna do that. I'll show you how it looks. All right, so once you took in the clamp, switch hands here. Took in the clamp and clamped it. I guess you would do it this way. And this is pretty common knowledge, but for the people that don't know, and they're trying to save $1, essentially you would clip it, that part right there, right in front of that line. This part right here, and you push that piston back so you can see it. It's kind of flush to the back. It's not super flush, but you don't need to go all the way back. Just enough for you to put those new caps in and take these out. So now these will literally pop right out. So I just gotta wiggle them out of there. Boom, one, and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. These could use a good cleaning, but well, like I said, these weren't too bad, but they are old, they are dirty, and my buddy doesn't plan on getting rid of these anytime soon, so we're getting rid of this bike anytime soon, so we're gonna put some fresh ones on there. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit more and put a fresh one on there. Alright, so I cleaned up the rotor a little bit. It's not the best, but it's smooth all around. All I took was some Scotch-Brite, rubbed it around this side, spun it, rubbed it, spun it, rubbed it. Did the same for the back. Hit it with some brake cleaner so it's nice and smooth. And look how good this came out, It's not perfect, but it's better. So I'm gonna put the pads on there. It's gonna be hard to do. I'll try it, but remember, you gotta put one in this way and then another one in this way because the disc has to go in between both of them. So this one has to go like this. It's gonna be hard to do with one hand, but we'll give it a shot here. I need, oh, I thought I was gonna need 2 hands. Guess I could do it with one. Alright, one is in. Alright, I like it. Now that one's facing up, so this one has to face down. So remember, the disc has to be clamped by the pads. Boom. Bada bing, bada boom. So now those are in there. Boom. So now you're just gonna slide it onto that. And and slam your bolts in right here and at the bottom. And then once you put your bolts in, you hit the brake one time, and then that piston closes everything. And then every time you hit your brake, it'll so I'm gonna get that done real quick and I'll show you the end result. Alright, you guys, so you got fresh pads on there. Disc is semi clean. Once these start rubbing, these will shine up real good. There's no deep scratches or anything. These are like that because these brakes won't work in to begin with. So they were just spinning. So, but today we're going to remedy that and bleed the brakes, do the pads, get it all done up. So when they actually start getting used, all this stuff will, whatever it touches, it'll get nice and shiny. So this is done. We got the new pads on there. The bolt for the brake line came a little loose, so we lost a little bit of fluid, but that's no big deal because we're gonna re-bleed the whole system once the new bleeders come in. See, that one is all broken, messed up, so we're gonna re-bleed the whole system once those come in. But today we did this part, and now we are going to change these bushings. So you can see, I don't know how well the camera will hold. I don't know if you can see that, but these need to go, just like the other side. So I'm gonna do this with a little bit of YouTube magic. So, ready, set. All right, so there we are. Nice and changed out, top and bottom. No more wiggle. Sucker's sturdy now. You handle those big wheels better. There's the old ones. Nasty things. So look at all the stuff that came off. Just messing around in here, but so rear's done. That's cool. Now we're just waiting on spacers. But we gotta get the front brake pads done. So if you remember a couple minutes ago, I showed you how to do these back brakes. Well, I'm gonna do the front ones with a little bit of YouTube magic again. So here we go. All right, so we got the new pads on there, nice and clean. I cleaned up the caliper on both sides. The rotor, I cleaned it up as best as I could. So, see on this side too, nice fresh pads. So these are exactly the same way as the one in the back. You just take those two bolts off, compress the caliper, and you can slide those pads right off of those brackets, those arm sets right there. And then slide the new ones in, bolt it on. Once you got everything on, you can press the lever and it'll put pressure back on everything. So, I also changed the starter solenoid. So we got a brand new one on there. She cranks much better now with no resistance. So let's give her a crank. Yep, she cranks much better now. So before, it would be hit or miss. Sometimes it would crank, sometimes it wouldn't. So for now, I'm gonna end the video here, just because I'm still waiting on parts. So just make sure you like and subscribe. Share the videos, comments down below if you would have done anything different. If you have anything else that I should look over. The next video, we're gonna do the spacers, and then we're gonna do a bleeding of the whole system, because I need the nipples for this side and the rear. So again, just make sure you like and subscribe, It'll help out a long way so we can keep doing projects in here. I also have this KTM that we're gonna bring a video on it soon. This one has a blown up head, so we're rebuilding the head, but we had to send the cylinder out to LA Sleeves. I can explain it all in the video, but KTM's a special company and everything has to be done special. So tune in for that. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications so you know when this is coming out. We'll see you next time. Peace.